Murli Notes, 20th January 2023. Scriptures of several religions are notorious for having altered the details of the male-female relationships of the main characters in their stories. In the Indian scriptures, it is claimed that Radha and Krishna were lovers. In fact, they were betrothed, and upon their marriage they were renamed Lakshmi and Narayan and became the Emperor and Empress of the Golden Age. In the same way, the Judeo-Christian and Islamic scriptures claim that Eve had tempted Adam with an apple and thereby made him sinful, which caused them both to be banished from heaven. The matter of Adam's first wife, Lilith, was deleted from the scriptures. Lilith had refused sexual contact and was subsequently defamed as a witch who eats children. Then finally her existence was removed from the narrative. In the New Testament, Mary Magdalene was characterized as a prostitute who had tempted Jesus. Only in the last century was this libelous statement corrected by the Christian religious authorities, and her reputation reinstated after hundreds of years of defamation. The correction was made almost inaccessible to ensure that the faithful continued to believe the false stories and the culture of defamation of Mary Magdalene could persist. These stories are created and used by the patriarchy to prove that women are fundamentally bad. Women are the cause of all the sins of all men and are to be mistreated, defamed, disregarded, their rights are to be denied, etc., etc. All this is false, and all established and perpetuated by the patriarchy. Why was it so necessary from the earliest days of organized religions to malign women and give men impunity regarding their despicable treatment of women and girls for centuries in all patriarchal religions throughout the world? The Indian scriptures also denigrate Sita and show the Hindus that it is correct for Hindu men to act as Ram, who ill-treated Sita throughout her life until finally she is driven to commit suicide. Interestingly, global culture is about the rape of the feminine, the rape of the planet Earth itself, which is characterized in mythology as a woman, Gaia, the Mother Earth. The man desires and cannot bear the strength and beauty of a woman. Thus there is the urge to control, to diminish and destroy the feminine. Is this jealousy? Ego? Who knows? At the same time, incorporeal god Shiv Baba shows us that all souls have an equal number of male and female births. All men were women in their previous births and will be in their subsequent births. There is one little caveat in Hindu beliefs regarding reincarnation. It is said that if a man dies in remembrance of his wife or mother, then he will reincarnate as a woman, which is depicted as a terrible curse. God presents himself as the Mother-Father and further clarifies that his incarnation into the body of Brahma makes this Mother-Father combination. The father, Shiv Baba, enters the body of the mother, Brahma, and creates children through the mouth. These are the mouth-born Brahmins. That means that when God gives birth to an individual, it is by adoption, not by magic. Therefore, God could be the father of all souls and, in combination with Brahma, adopt a significant quantity of people, men and women, who become Brahma Kumars and Kumaris. Then he clarifies that Brahma is the first created man, Adam, and Saraswati, the first created woman, Eve. Both are equally created by the word of God. Both stand equally side by side. Brahma is also the Alokik father of Saraswati, since she is a Brahma Kumari. In the Indian scriptures, they characterize the relationship as Brahma being in love with and having an incestuous relationship with his daughter Saraswati. Somehow, all the patriarchal religious authorities are not capable of interpreting the stories other than to the detriment of all female characters. At this time, a few BKs are focused on the phenomenon of polarization. This is useful because polarization causes complete breakdown of all forms of balance. Baba frequently reminds all BKs to practice balance. Balance of Gyan and Yoga, balance of Yoga and service, and holding oneself independent of the pairs of opposites is a very fine balance. When balance is completely lost, then there is collapse of all global systems. If there is polarization within the yagya, then also it cannot be sustained. Therefore, it is important to consider that the extreme disparities we see all over the world, which began with the creation of the scriptures in the Copper Age, have now reached maximum. This is an ideal time for God to flip the world. When something is very far from balanced, it is hard to restore the balance. But, on the other hand, when the balance is on the edge of collapse, it takes just a small push to make the system fall. Baba's way is to let everything reach the extreme, and then there can be complete renewal. He does not repair broken things. He says of the sannyasis that their purity could uphold India for a good amount of time from the period of the Iron Age, but ultimately the levels of impurity had to reach their extreme. There is a spiritual law that says once the extreme is reached, then its opposite happens. So, the extremes of polarities presume the restoration of balance. However, the process is unimaginably painful. Therefore, all participants need to be spiritually resilient. Om Shanti.